Okay, we are live. Okay, if you're not speaking, please move your mic. We are live. This is Add1Challenge number 26, the final kickoff Add1Challenge.
I'm here for the mood.
Yeah, so this is a very special Add1Challenge. You know, Add1Challenge for me is my baby. Like, I created 3 years ago. I put a lot of blood, not blood, but a lot of sweat, a lot of tears into making it happen. And I'm very happy that it became the way it came about the way that it has, and it touched many people's lives. And I'm very, very grateful for everybody who participated, and I'm very grateful for everybody who's participating in this call and joining us with the final kickoff hangout for the Goodbye Add1Challenge. So let's introduce ourselves real quick. Why don't you tell us where you're from, what your name, where you're from, and what language you're learning, you're taking on this Add1Challenge, and why you're learning it.
Or if you're not in this Add1Challenge,
Right.
what you did before.
Or what you're doing now, if you're still in an active challenge.
Well, I'll go.
Okay. Who's going?
Annette, I think? Was it Annette? Or who said it?
Someone said that they should go. Okay, somebody go.
Yeah, okay, I'll
start. Okay, Luke. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Leszek,
So,
you're on.
okay, I take it. My name is Leszek. I come from Poland. Right now, in 2026, I'm taking in Swedish once again. I started learning Swedish in Add1Challenge 23, and I started from scratch because I've never started learning Swedish before, and that was really amazing, as I was saying so far, because I've never experienced it, and in the learning process, language learning process, that was something amazing, because I've never done that much improvement, that much progress in language. And I could see because I started from scratch, so I could see. I couldn't say that was something that I learned before. So I see, like on a hand, that's what I learned was specifically because I was participating. That was really something new for me, and I was so happy I did it. So I decided to do it once again, and continue with Swedish in Add1Challenge 23.
Yay!
I hope I'm going to do. Yes, I hope I'm hoping to do at least the same progress as before.
Great. That's a great first introduction if anybody's watching this video.
Awesome to have you back.
Great, thank you for your support. Thank you for your hard work. And thank you for your testimonial. And why are you learning Swedish again? Did you even say?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't say that because I work at company with headquarters in Sweden, and right now at my current position, I meet many Swedes. Sometimes I travel to Sweden, so hopefully I can in a few months. I'm hoping to hold meetings in Swedish. That would be great.
Great, thank you. Okay, who's next? Don't be shy. Come on.
Should I go again?
Oh, now I see you, Lucy. I see you now, Lucy.
Okay,
Luke, go.
Okay.
Oh, okay, Lucy, go.
Okay. Shalom. I'm Lucy, and I am learning Hebrew. I moved to Israel 2 years ago, and my Hebrew is probably a A2 level right now. I'm not sure what the other questions were I need to answer.
Where are you from? You moved
Yeah. Well, now I'm Israeli, but I'm from Virginia, Charlottesville.
I see. And you want to tell us about living in Israel quickly and learning the language now? Or
is there an echo? Just want to make sure you can hear me.
we good.
Okay, great. So let's see. Well, I moved here 2 years ago, right after getting married, because my husband got a job here, and we actually found out like a week before our wedding that we were going to be moving. So first we moved to the desert, and it's a very small country, but the culture is really different. So like 2 hours away, right now I live in Haifa, which is in the mountains and the beach, and then just 2 hours away is the desert. So Hebrew is a really cool language because it was not spoken. There were no fluent Hebrew speakers for, I don't know, at least 1,000 years. It was just brought back in the 1900s, kind of single-handedly. So it's really interesting to learn it because they had to invent new words for like light bulbs and computers and all those things.
Awesome, great. Thank you for joining us, Lisa.
I'm excited. Thanks.
Great. Who's next?
Call someone.
All right, Sam.
Hello. You hear me? Excellent. So I'm Sam, as you've noticed. So I'm doing Mandarin. This is my first Add1Challenge, but I do speak a little bit of Spanish, which I've been learning for a few years now. So hopefully I won't be thrown completely in the deep end. Yeah, what else? I'm from Sydney, Australia, and yeah, what else?
Why Mandarin?
Well, I've sort of had an interest in China, and I'm looking to hopefully spend a bit of time there in the next few years, maybe move there for a year or so. I don't speak really much at all right now, but hopefully in a year or two I'd speak enough to maybe get by. That's a
year or two.
Well, in a year or two from now.
Oh, in a year.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'd look to move there.
Great. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for being with us.
No worries.
Okay. Lisa, you're in every kickoff hangout. What's going on?
Hi. Yes, I am. Just because I like to hear what people are up to and what everyone's doing. And yes, this is my third Add1Challenge. I wasn't planning to do one over the summer because it's going to be super complicated to do everything. And visiting family and jet lagged and tired and trying to work at the same time. So it's going to be hard. But just because I don't know what's going to happen later, I wanted to do it with you guys again and just kind of like, be here for the last one. And also I think it will be good because like I said, with traveling and everything, it will be hard to keep going otherwise. So maybe it will be nice to have this extra motivation as well, just so, because I was going to kind of like go back seriously to language studying in September and take a bit of a break over the summer. But then I was thinking, if I take a break, I don't know, I might not actually get back into it. It's kind of harder to start again once you stop. So maybe it's better just to keep going. And I was tempted to start it in another language, but then again, I'm not quite ready to start on something new right now. So I thought I might as well just carry on with French for now because I love it so much anyway that I don't want to leave it. And in the fall, we'll kind of see how it goes, and I might start on something else then. So that's the plan. And it's really exciting to see that there's so many friends as well. So I think this will be really good because one thing that meant for me was having a really strong study group and mastermind group. So I'm really hoping that this will be the same this time around. Because in the second challenge, I was pretty much doing French, and it made a colorful difference. So yes, I'm kind of hoping more of a time.
So Nisia, you won the Add1Challenge, which means you're getting a trip. So do you have any secret to share with people? Do you have any secrets?
Because life is just too. I'm really excited about it, and I don't know if you watched it or if you know, like I said that I said I'm definitely organize my
Right. Do you have any secrets about how you won? So to share some wisdom with these people. Yeah. What's your secret? Do you have any tricks?
Okay. I mean, I never expected to win to start with. So this was a huge shock because I didn't feel like I made a lot of progress. Or I mean, I did, but not as much as other people perhaps. So I was surprised by that. But I think what somebody said was that I won because I tried to make a connection with other people. And I think this is the key, because you can't really just study a language. Well, in my view, you can't really just study the language for the sake of studying the language. You have to have a reason for it, and it has to be, it's for communication with people. So I think that's the key, just kind of like use it for something, just studying for the sake of studying.
Got it.
I think that's mine.
So connect with people, and she's just being humble. She definitely made progress. Polyglots would not pick you. Okay.
I did. I'm still happy actually with how much I learned.
Great.
But it was just a huge shock.
Yes. Own your accomplishment. Great. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for seeing you again. I mean, good to see you again. No, thank you for seeing me again. All right, next. Okay, next. Who's next?
I can go.
Go, Brandon. Yes.
Brandon Jarrett from Dallas, Texas, and first Add1Challenge. I speak Spanish, and I've been practicing speaking French for a couple of years as well. And so, as most of you, just caught the language bug, and once you just start learning, I wanted to add a different one. And so I'll be doing Mandarin for this. Mandarin is, I've always been fascinated by the culture and the language and the challenge of it, just because it's up there with Russian or Arabic probably is, one of the more difficult ones. So I've been studying independently for maybe a year. I kind of started with the characters, and kind of what I learned from Spanish and French. I only fluent in Spanish just because I've been doing it for 10 years, and I know I did not do it as I should have, which is by practicing speaking, as everyone knows. But I was just always like independently studying, and I was too scared to start practice with native speakers. And then when I finally started, you just saw how quickly you could actually learn.
Got it.
Kind of why I wanted to do Add1Challenge. I heard about it a lot through podcasts, and make a ton of mistakes, and it's a new language, so
Great.
That's about it.
That's
Welcome,
it.
Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon. All right, who's next?
I could go.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yes.
Yeah. Go ahead. Andrea?
So me? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So this is my first Add1Challenge. I'm Andrea from Milan, and I'm trying to learn Dutch. Actually, like right now, I'm in Cologne in Germany, and tomorrow, like after a year, I'm moving back to Milan. So I'm going home tomorrow. I'm packing, and so like any excuse is good to postpone that. So the Hangout was a perfect excuse, And so this is my first Add1Challenge. Why Dutch? I never thought I would learn Dutch actually, because in the first like semester, so last year, I had a lot of like friends from Belgium and from the Netherlands, and I really thought like it sounded like a very weird language. It sounds very weird, and then a couple of months ago, so then I met my boyfriend, and I decided that like right now I got the emails about the Add1Challenge. I was like had been subscribed to the emails for a long time now. I was like, okay, it's the perfect time because now I'm moving back to Italy. I don't need to study German anymore. I can study another language, and everything came together into this thing, and I'm very excited about it. And yeah, I think the pronunciation of Dutch is still very weird and very difficult, but I think it's doable, and I'd like to try.
Yay! Yay!
Great.
Great! Awesome. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
Annette.
I love hearing these little stories
Yeah, it's
behind it.
awesome,
It's great.
awesome.
Yeah.
Annette. Did I say it right?
Yeah. So can you hear me? Great. Hello. So my name is Aneta. I come from the Czech Republic. I live in Prague, and I'm going to learn Russian. I've been sort of a false beginner for a really long time, and so I originally really wanted to wait until maybe September, October, but also since it's the last challenge that you are doing, I said, okay, why not do it now? But I'm continuously learning some other languages, so I'm gonna also travel, so it's gonna be a bit difficult, but I will try to keep up. And I'm learning Russian because I wanted to learn another Slavic language because my native language is Czech, and I thought Russian will be easy, but then maybe because I found it easy, I was a bit lazy with it. So I hope that this will give me more motivation. Thanks.
Great. Great.
Great. Welcome.
Welcome.
Allison. Your turn, Allison.
Hello, can everybody hear me? Yes, Annette, you're the only one I see for some reason. Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you now. We hear you good.
Okay, great.
Go ahead.
So I actually grew up speaking Russian. I'm from New York in the United States, so English is my native language, but when I was younger, I spoke only Russian. And when I was younger, I would always go with my grandparents to the Dominican Republic. And so it would be an every year sort of thing. It was a very popular destination for Russian people from the United States. And I fell in love with the culture, the people, the music, and it was kind of a big part of my childhood. So Spanish has always been a part of my life. And I've always had the goal of being able to speak it fluently and communicate with people, watch my favorite shows, listen to my favorite music, and understand what it was about. And I took it in school, I took it in university, and I've been studying it by myself, but I thought that this would be a really good push, a really good confidence boost, because I was always very scared to speak. I was always all about the grammar. I really enjoyed learning grammar, and I studied Russian in school as well, so I enjoyed learning Russian grammar as well. And I think that kind of held me back from being comfortable in speaking, because I hid behind my fear of not knowing how to put the sentence together, not knowing the grammar. Go back to the grammar and be like, no, I need to study a little more. But I think this is finally my opportunity to just say, you know what, I don't care. I'm going for it.
Yes.
Go
You
for
should
it.
have heard Brian, as you said, like, I actually enjoy studying the grammar. He's like, ah.
Russian grammar.
It doesn't
Great.
relate.
Wow, great. So happy for you, Allison. Just a start, but you took a step, a committed step to
This
speak.
is my first challenge. I'm very excited.
Yay. Welcome.
Welcome. All right, we'll end with it. Thank you. We end with Luke.
Hey, so I'm the complete opposite. I hate studying grammar, so that's why I'm learning Chinese. So when I was at university, I played a lot of table tennis, and I met a lot of people from Hong Kong, including my girlfriend and my friends. So in the that finished about a month ago, doing Cantonese, and I'm still learning because I'm going to Hong Kong in about 2 weeks' time. So my native language is English. Obviously, I'm from England, and yeah, I thought the Add1Challenge was really good. I was in the same group as Legic before, and he was absolutely amazing about the whole challenge. You know, kind of speaking every day and giving us updates and stuff. So I just came to kind of see what everyone else is up to and eavesdrop on the Hangout.
Very welcome.
Yeah, so nice to
Thank you
have
for
you.
joining us. So, all right. Wow, that was so great. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing all
Yeah.
your stories of why you're learning, what language you're learning. It's really good to connect with you guys. So now,
Let's introduce ourselves.
oh, right. You go first.
I go first. Hi guys, I'm Nina. I am, well, I'm part of the Add1Challenge team along with Brian. I'm from Germany originally, and right now we're both living in Thailand. I counted yesterday or 2 days ago, I've done 7 Add1Challenges. The last one was for Thai, which I just finished like a few weeks ago, and that's it.
Right.
I gotta be honest, I'm very likely, well, I'm still debating if I should take this Add1Challenge or not. I did feel like I wanted a little bit of a break because I will actually not be in Thailand, but I'm thinking that maybe I might continue with Thai. So I'm like using my bonus here to possibly slip in last minute for number 8.
Great. Yeah. Okay, great. I'm Brian. I think I introduced myself in the beginning already, so I don't have to introduce myself again. Okay, great. So let's get started. So I think everybody's clear on what your goal is. Your goal is to speak the language and specifically to be able to hold a 15-minute conversation in 90 days. So why don't you guys share, especially the people who've done the Add1Challenge before, share a little about what are some of the keys of making it happen, especially people who learned before or did the Add1Challenge before. Share what you've learned. What are some of the keys of making that happen, or you just have any idea? Please share. Who wants to go?
Okay, I can start. So I think it's 2 things, really. Well, after 2 challenges, that's the conclusion that I came to. And the first one, and that has to come from within you, is to find the motivation why you actually want to learn the language. So you have to have a personal reason, you know, like some kind of, I don't know, whatever it is, whether it is to impress your boyfriend or girlfriend, or whether it's to get a new job, but it has to be something that really kind of excites you and really makes it important for you. And the second thing, and this is kind of quite external because this is where Add1Challenge kind of helps with, is just to break the barrier of stop being scared to speak the language, you know, and just try and just go there and do it pretty much. And it's amazing how far it takes you, you know, if you just try to do it rather than try to learn it, just try to use it.
Right, just do it. And you know, we will have exercise so you feel like you're doing it together with other people, because you're not the only one who's working on breaking the barrier of speaking, right? We all do it together. That's why this is great. This is why it's powerful. Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing. Anybody else like to share any ideas? This is an interactive hangout. What are some of the keys of making that 15-minute conversation happen in 90 days?
I'll go.
Yeah.
To go on what was just said, I completely agree. Having a clear reason of why you want to learn it is really important. So for me, I mean, when I'm hanging out with my girlfriend and her friends or her family and stuff, I really want to, if I can't speak any Cantonese, I feel really left out of the conversation. I kind of really want to become like a part of it so I can join in, and kind of, I think through my last challenge, I got a little bit obsessed with it and was studying like every day, watching Hong Kong dramas, getting really interested in the culture and stuff. And it's just having lots of playtime as well, I thought was really fun. So like, if I'm going to kick back and watch TV, watching now Bruce Lee film is going to be you know, great way to keep your motivation up. And
Great.
the final thing I'd say is just network as much as you can. Like, it's great being in the community and just really take advantage of it.
Got it. Great. Can you share a little bit about how you balance the playtime and study time?
Yeah, so I set an hour to do 1 hour study time each day. I usually did that as soon as I got back from work, and then whatever time I had left was just playtime. So once my hour's done, I completely ignore studying, put the books down, and just watch some TV or listen to some music and just try to enjoy spending time with Cantonese as much as I can.
Awesome. Just so you guys know, Stephen Chow is a really funny guy. He makes all these movies that it's really funny.
Yeah.
So I think finding like comedy new movie would really help, especially these Stephen Chow movies. It's ridiculous.
It's probably similar to like Jackie Chan. If anyone has Netflix, watch Shaolin Soccer. Hilarious.
Great. Awesome. Any other ideas
From anyone. Even new people.
I can share some what I experienced in Add1Challenge 23. The first thing is that what was important that start with some small chunks, and not this is rather marathon, not a sprint. The 90 days is going to be something difficult in some moments. So keep in mind that it's still 90 days, not a week, not 2 or month. So start slowly and keep going step by step. That's something that was important to keep in mind. And when it comes to daily routines, what works for me was that starting with same again, small chunks like 10-15 minutes during the day. And then I realized I did like 2 hours split by so many chunks, and that worked for me. The other part is that keep balance between playtime and study time. Find good materials, and if you get bored with some materials, which happened to me a few times, I tried to mixing it between both 101 that was and teach yourself. So I stick 1 week or 2 weeks with one, then I switched to another one, and mixing them all together was a good idea for me. That worked for me quite well.
Great. I mean, you guys really covered it all. You know, I think one of the most important thing is create a fun, like, you know, like Luke said, find some way to have fun, and you guys really mentioned about the balance of playtime and study time. So it has to be sustainable, because if it's not sustainable, if it's really hard, it's not sustainable for 90 days, right? You can study really hard for long hours for a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks if you're lucky, and then by 90 days is not too short. It's also is actually could be quite long if it's hard, right? But if you're having fun, it just passes by really fast. So a fun and sustainable and consistent routine it's really the key. And he also said something about, like, you're gonna get bored with this if you do the same thing over and over, unless you're trying to hide behind it, like Allison was saying. But you know, of course, we would have activities to get you out of your comfort zone. But if you're really studying, you're doing the same old material, you can get bored. So it's really important to switch it up to different kind of things. So it doesn't. It's exciting. Nina, anything you would like to add?
Yeah, Luke mentioned making as much use of the community as you can. He mentioned it briefly, and funny observation is that all people who spoke so far, like Luke and Nisha, you were all like kicking ass in the community. Like, you know, all of these people, they had really great successes from that, if I may say. And they really enjoyed their challenges because I think you were so great with your mastermind groups, you were so great with the study group if you had one, and in the community as well. So I think that's the common denominator between you guys.
Yeah, I think it is really important, because that's what kind of makes it exciting as well. And especially when I was doing my first challenge, I was starting from zero. And to be honest, if I didn't have the study group that I did have, where there were 4 other people who were kind of just like me, I don't know if I could have done it on my own, you know, because it just made such a difference that especially there were people on the same level as me, and we didn't need to be embarrassed about sounding really stupid and making lots of stupid mistakes. And it was just fun, you know, it was just really good to have a chat. And we had a laugh. We had, like, there were lots of, you know, there were lots of moments when we couldn't understand each other, because we had a rule that we were going to speak French from day 0, no matter what, you know. But nobody could really speak French, so it was really funny, you know. But yeah, but we did it, and it was great. And I can only wish all the participants in this challenge that they have something like that, because I'm so grateful for that, and yeah, just so happy that it worked out this way.
I want to say about that, you wish for everyone to have this experience. It's up to every single one to create that experience, right? Because I tend to observe that some people wait for the other people to start talking and to start getting the interaction going. But, you know, then everyone else in your group might be doing the same, and then nothing will happen. So it's like, if you have that attitude that those guys were explaining, and you really put your, you know, you really put fun into this, and you really put your effort into this, and you're going to say, you know what, from day 0, we'll speak that language, whatever it is. Then I think you will have an awesome group.
Yeah. But I think it would be much more difficult. I was the only one who was the absolute beginner, and if there were other people who could already speak a bit, it would make me feel kind of much more, you know, embarrassed about it and not trying so much. But because we were all kind of the same, we were like, well, we have to try, right? We have to make the best of it, and yeah, and we did.
But
right.
Does anyone? I actually just want to briefly share about that, because you might be in a study group where you don't have the same experience, and I did that for when I did Italian, for example, in an Add1Challenge. I started at 0, and study buddy, he was, you know, he'd already done 2 Add1Challenges, I think, for it, so he was really good at it. And it worked out really well, because he ended up being able to somehow explain some things to me, and he learned so much from it. And for me, I tried really hard, and it was still, you know, we're still in the same challenge, we're still learning. I know he's still making mistakes as well. So even though we were on completely different levels, we've really benefited from it anyway. So don't, you know, even if you're at different levels, it doesn't mean anything negative at all. It could even be better, depending on what you make of it.
Can I add something?
Sure.
So when I was studying Cantonese, it's not really a particularly popular language, so there was no one else doing it in my challenge. So I would say, even though the community is amazing, you wouldn't necessarily have to limit networking to that. So if you go on Facebook and type in, like, say, French, learning French or something, and you can come join like Facebook groups, network with other people, even on YouTube and things like that. And just, I think I told literally everyone I've met over the past 5, 6, 7 months that I've been learning Cantonese, and like, just like, you don't have to limit just to the challenge. Like, tell absolutely everyone, and it gives you much more accountability to keep learning.
That's actually one of the secret of that Add1Challenge. That is why I asked you to make a video, so you can share with your friends. So because the more people you share with, the more likely you do it. You know the secret, and you're already doing it yourself. You just tell everybody you talk to, and then that's part that will give you some energy. They'll give you some motivation, right, Luke?
Yeah, I think I got way too excited and just told people to the point of telling me to shut up about it already.
I'm learning Cantonese. Great.
But for me, it was also Add1Challenge that gave me the courage to do it, because before I wouldn't just walk up to a random person speaking French and say, hey, do you want to do a language exchange? And now I can, and now I do it, you know, and it works out great. And yeah.
Awesome.
Yay.
Great. So now we are excited and hyped up right now. So let me ask you a question. What is one thing that will guarantee will happen in the next 90 days? What's one thing that I guarantee will happen in the next 90 days?
Anyone can go.
Anyone can. If you let the new people go first. You know what I'm asking.
Well, I'm definitely going to learn Mandarin.
Sure. I don't know. If you don't study, you know, you can't. You don't. It's not guaranteed, right? So what's one thing that's even more guaranteed than that? I know you will, but at the same time, what's
usually the easiest thing I've found to keep up is the sort of things with the apps. I memorize. I find it hard to keep up, you know, going to the groups and stuff. And both helpful. I've really got to work on doing like actual stuff, which hopefully should get Mandarin because than Spanish, because there should be a lot more Mandarin speakers here.
Got it. Yes, that's possible. That can happen in the next 90 days.
Okay.
Well,
probably at some point I'll find it difficult to keep going and want to give up, but I won't.
I have an idea. I mean, for everyone in the next 90 days, it's going to become September. So time will pass no matter what you do, I guess. Whether we study or don't, it's still the summer is still gonna go by.
Well, it's winter here, so I'm hoping the summer comes.
I think Brian's disconnected. With Mandarin, one thing that'll definitely happen in the next 90 days is you'll say a dirty word by accident, so don't get too embarrassed. Just make sure you get the tones right.
Yeah, I'll try to work on that. I'll have to learn all those words at the start so I don't say them. It looks like he's back.
Oh.
Welcome back.
You guys hear me?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Great.
Great. Okay, great. So let me just tell you guys what's one thing that could happen. One thing that I guarantee will happen is that at some point in the next 90 days, you feel like nodding.
It's impossible.
It's possible. It's very. It's a guarantee that will happen. So it's okay because we know it's gonna happen. What's wrong with it when you feel like that's gonna if it actually happens, if it shows up? Now we can get back. It's all it matter of yourself. It doesn't matter you wanted to talk to somebody but you didn't talk to somebody. It doesn't matter because it's all about how to get back on track. How do you get back in? Bring some ideas of how you can, if you fail, how can you get back? Any ideas? Can y'all hear me? Hello?
Sometimes one thing that works for me when I feel really guilty about not having done work I promised myself to do is I set a timer, like this thing. It could just be your watch, but I set it for a really short amount of time, like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then I promise myself, as long as I do that, stop, and I don't have to feel guilty all day. But usually I want to keep going after that. But it's also okay to stop.
Right.
Great, yeah.
Very smart, very smart. You break it down to small chunks and reward yourself. Yay, 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, don't go, oh no, I said I would do 30 minutes. Just go like, yay, I already did 5 minutes.
I think that's a great point. You know, like, because this is actually the next thing I'm going to talk about. I'm going to bring it up right now because, you know, so basically everyone, we're going to have a tracker of yay, nay, or break, right? And some people would have, like, you know, and then they have 1 nay, or even 30 yays and they have 1 nay. They go like, oh my God, end of the world, oh my God, I'm so bad, I'm guilty, oh, and then they fall off and then they can't get back up. You know, so it's okay. We're here to each other when that happens, because life happens, you know. We all not just learning a language, we're juggling all these things in life, right? So happens, we're here to and then just, okay, 5 minutes. How can I get back on? That is why we suggest you not to overdo yourself when doing your routine. Like, don't say, I'm going to say 3 hours a day for you. And it's going to be very, very hard for you to get 8. So rather you slowly build up as you go, in which you have an opportunity to adjust your schedule and on day 30. So yeah, so don't let go of beating yourself up in the world.
And then start with a small chunk.
Start with a small chunk, as Lucy suggested. Thank you, Lucy.
Yeah, and as you heard Lejic's example earlier, he also said he does small chunks throughout the day, and usually he ends up doing way more than he even intended.
Right. Any other ideas of how to get back on track?
I think my role is that I try to do only things that I find are fun and just enjoyable to do. So I never actually studied anything that I didn't want to find out about. So I would only pick up things that were actually interesting. And I think because of this, I never kind of ran out of, I never felt that it was boring. It was always something that I wanted to do. And it was more a matter of finding the time in the day to do it rather than wanting to do it, because for me, music was a big part of it. So I would, for example, find a new song that I wanted to understand and just kind of go through this. Sometimes I would watch a movie or just talk to someone. And it was always just kind of like, for me, it was my kind of like pleasure time rather than a duty that I had to do. And I think because of this, the motivation lasts much longer, because it's something that you look forward to rather than something that feels like hard work. So just concentrate on the things that you like doing.
So I think people understand, like, in the beginning, but you learn, talking becomes fun. Right?
Yeah,
it's like it's like really good time. But for a lot of people, beginning stages,
yeah, it's true, but this is really interesting actually, because the first italki sessions that I had, I was so scared and I was dreading them, you know. I would start panicking. I think the minimum time you have to book an italki session is 24 hours ahead. And I would actually stress about it for 24 hours. And then this time would kind of get shorter and shorter. And I actually started looking forward to italki sessions, because now it feels like it's quite nice to talk to these people. Yeah, it's still a bit stressful because I know that I make mistakes, but it's quite often just something that I want to do because I haven't talked to this person for a while, and it's quite nice to catch up with them. So it's amazing. Like it's just like 180 degrees change on that pretty much. And I know that it might feel like you will never get there at first, but you will, you know, and it does get easy, I can promise you.
I had the same before my first italki session. It kind of got like the butterflies in my stomach, like I was about to go on like a date or something. And then now, I mean, I know my teacher will speak like a few times a week, and it's just like speaking to a friend now, and I really enjoy it. So even if I can't be bothered to study, then still book an italki session because it's something I enjoy doing. So I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think that's one.
Okay, somebody, thank you for leaving. Couldn't get in because it was full.
Sorry, Nisha, we were caught up. I don't know what you were.
Oh, I was just saying that it was amazing how my attitude to italki sessions has changed. That the first sessions were so scary, and I was so nervous about it. And then eventually I started looking forward to them, and I started enjoying actually the conversations. And now it's actually something that I really look forward to, and that now it's, for example, a bit difficult because one of the teachers is away, another one is had an operation and is not working. So it's kind of, I'm really missing them, you know, and I really want to see how they are, and I want to talk to them again, you know. But the first few were just horrible. Like I was so scared and, you know, kind of paralyzed by fear pretty much.
This is very normal, and I just wanted to let you guys know who are watching this. It's also very normal to become friends with them, and like you actually want to talk to them, like you have fun talking to them. And after you get on the first few calls, you actually want to practice, and speaking become a fun thing instead of the scary thing. And this is a normal thing, but you just got to get over the first 2 calls and then get into it and then connect with that person. If you can't connect with the person, find somebody else, because that's totally okay, because you know we don't connect with everybody on italki. Some of them are great, some of them are horrible. So if they're not good for you, find somebody else. No problem. There are plenty of italki teachers from most.
I think it's also important that they make you feel good about it, even though, you know, you make 5 mistakes in every sentence. I think that's what it that's how you can tell a good teacher from a bad teacher. If it's someone that actually makes you feel okay about it, then it's good, you know. Because I had teachers who made me feel horrible, you know. After a session with them, I would kind of feel like, oh, it's pointless, I'll never get there, I'm completely useless, I can't, you know, say 1 sentence right. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I was really feeling down for, you know, like days afterwards, after a conversation like this. And then there are teachers who just, you know, just don't make you feel like that, and you feel great, and you feel like, yes, you've made a good conversation, it worked really well, and you know, you didn't necessarily do so much better, but it's just the attitude of the teacher. So I think they can really make a huge difference.
They make a huge difference. And so if you couldn't, the first few times, if you couldn't find one, there will be a good teacher for you. Just got to keep going. Guarantee you. Just got to keep going. There will be good teachers for you. Yes?
And to add very quickly, if you have that experience like Nisha said, and you have a lesson and you feel horrible afterwards, if that happens, or the teacher made you feel bad or something like that, what do you do?
Well, now I know what I should have done. Book another lesson straight away with somebody else.
Okay, great. We're gonna listen with somebody else, and I invite you to just write a comment or vent it or whatever in the Add1Challenge Facebook group, because there are so many people in there who have a lot of things to say about this kind of experience that you've had, and that can really make a difference and bring you back up and give you a completely new perspective. So I really. And
then, you know, then that's why we can recommend good italki teachers each other too, right? So if you have any trouble with anything, especially talking, but with anything, go share in the group. And if you have any victory, share with the group. That's the whole reason why it's so motivating, because we're all aiming for the same goal. And it's great to have somebody walking this journey, walking toward the same goal together with you. And when you share your victories and your struggles, it makes it so much more easier. Okay, so why don't we, yes, Alison, you want to say something?
I had an idea. Yes, I had an idea. I know I don't have as much experience as some of the other people in here, but I think maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a millennial and this is how my brain works, but sometimes when I get overwhelmed, I turn to the internet for distraction. And I think that the minute I get a little overwhelmed with something that I'm trying too hard to focus on, finding some YouTube skit or some kind of little funny YouTube clip in Spanish is a good distraction. So I know there's a lot of funny, entertaining Spanish YouTubers out there, like Hola Soy Herman is one, very popular one. So that might just be a good way to break up your study time.
Great.
Great. No, this is it. You know, there's I think we all different, you know, and this is why we encourage you to actually experiment different things, because something that may work with Luke may not work for you. You know, you gotta go explore what works. You may find this person really funny, but Luke may not find that person funny at all, right? So it's really personal. And then so it's great you have ideas like that. Go for it, and you can also share it in a group. And if somebody shared and doesn't work for you, that's okay too. Explore and find out what works for you. Okay, great. So let's do a last exercise. Why don't we do a little bit closing your eyes and visualizing. All right, so I want everybody to close your eyes. So sit up straight. Sit up straight, close your eyes.
I think Brian's disconnected again, so you can probably open your eyes.
Is he known for practical jokes? Leaving us all like this?
One more time.
Is he known for are you there?
What? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I think your computer froze because you said close your eyes and then just nothing.
Oh, I see.
You're back now.
Oh, I guess it was lagging. I was speaking, and yeah. So let's continue. Did you guys breathe already?
Is he gone again?
Yeah. I think he's gone again. One thing that I'd like to quickly mention that's been talked about a few times so far is people always so scared of making mistakes, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. If you make a mistake, then it means you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, and that's where you're going to learn. So,
and the internet is so crap here.
Welcome back.
You can't really close your eyes and go on and do the visualizations. So I guess you guys, we can all just do this while we still have a connection. So let's just close our eyes and imagine that today is day 91. And we just had a 15-minute conversation with a native speaker in the language that we spend 90 days working our ass off. And we just hung up Skype or whatever. We just turned off Skype and we sat in a chair. And we felt relief. How really feel and how you feel after you actually finish having that 15-minute conversation. And you didn't think that you can do it before, but you actually accomplished this goal. Not only that, now you can actually have conversation with people in the native speaker. I want you to really feel into how you feel. How do you feel about yourself? What does this mean to you? What doors would this open for you? Now, whenever you're ready and you really feel into it, and once you finish feeling it, and when you're ready, you can slowly come back and open your eyes. Whenever you're ready, take your time. So anybody want to share what they saw or how they felt?
I don't know. It's weird. Like I thought I felt like bigger than myself. Like I finished the Skype conversation for 15 minutes. It's like I'm a champ, you know. Like if I made it like with Dutch, I can make it with anything. And yeah, it's like I don't know. It's very a good feeling to look forward to.
Beautiful.
And it's true. It's true. This is exactly what you're gonna feel, because you know you can tell. You can ask people who've done that one challenge before. It's exactly how you feel after you actually done that. You feel like a champ because you actually did what you said you'd do and you made it happen. And that's great. So great. Keep looking forward to it. And I think there's also a good way to, when you're down, just look at that. Just feel that and continue to go back in and pick yourself up. Great. Anything else? Anybody else want to share how they felt? What it means to them? What doors would open for them? Yes, Lucy?
So, I felt this sense of well-being and confidence that made me realize how ashamed I feel for not speaking Hebrew well at all. And it just made me feel like different as a person, like in the way I viewed myself, the meditation, you know, at the end.
Great. Go back to it. You know, be proud that you're making effort. You know, be proud that you're making effort. And people, you know, yes, you're not there where you want to be, but anybody who see you taking effort will applaud you. And you gotta acknowledge and own that up for yourself, because nobody can do that for you. Only you can do that. So acknowledge yourself and continue to move forward, even 5 minutes at a time, as you said. Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing this.
I've got something I'd like to add.
Great. Go ahead, Ben.
So yeah, it definitely made me feel like I could see a sense of accomplishment, which is something that I haven't really had before with languages until 2-3 years or something, because I haven't gone through something like this before, where I actually had a small, achievable kind of intermittent goal until just complete fluency. And so it'll be nice to have, to feel that boost of confidence and everything a lot sooner. So
Great. And that would just help you keep going, you know? Awesome. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Brandon. Anybody else want to share how they felt?
Yeah.
Yes, Luke?
This was, I think for me, it was during my mini challenge 3 between my day 60 and 90 video. And I decided to try and do a Skype with my teacher when he said absolutely no English for the whole session. And it was an hour-long italki, and I made like more mistakes than I can count. And I was using the dictionary for like all the time. She was paraphrasing stuff. But when I got to the end of the session, I was just like, I actually just spoke a complete hour with not a single English word in Cantonese. And it was just like this real sense of like, I could kind of visualize and picture myself being fluent like further down the line. It was just like, if I keep up like this, I can actually do it. And I just need to keep going and keep going and keep going. And it was just a real sense of like, it was almost euphoria. Like, I mean, I remember this was it before work, and I was sitting at work, even 2 in the afternoon, I was still like, had the biggest smile on my face, and I just couldn't stop. So
Right.
it's a real sense of like, I can actually do this. Just keep going, add oil.
Amazing.
Beautiful. Awesome. All right. So with that, we're going to conclude this kickoff hangout. And thank you so much for participating. And thank you so much for taking that step, committing to what you want to accomplish in your life and making it happen. So this is the beginning of our journey, and I look forward to seeing your progress and your interaction, your struggles, and your victories in the next 90 days. All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you guys. Amazing to have this hangout.
Thank you.
Okay. You guys take care. See you soon. See you soon.
Thanks, Brian.
See you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye.